Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Radha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Radhika from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Radhika Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves? Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Holiness Bhakti Anugraha Janardan Swami Maharaj to enlighten us on the topic of Govardhna Pooja.
Mataji is not yet there on the call. Where is Shamagauri Mataji? Shamagauri Mataji? Shamagauri Mataji? We can wait, Mataji. I will let you know when Maharaj joins. Shamagauri Mataji? We can wait, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Govardhana Pooja. I would like to hand over the call, Maharaj. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hari, can you hear me?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Govardhana Puja Day. We're celebrating today the most auspicious festival of Govardhana Puja. So we're just going to chant a little bit and then we will start. Is that okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Everyone, you just finished your japa?
Yes, Maharaj, we are all done with our japa.
Yes, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here, 4:20 in Vancouver. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridhardhari Yasodhanandana Vraja Janardan Sodanandana Vraja Janardan Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janarandana Sodanandana Vraja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Yamuna Tira Vana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Krishna Shanti Prabhupada Shri Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Om Jnanantimirandasya Kyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasvai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Virupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padam Ragana Lalita Shri Vishakambita Shah He Krishna Karuna Shindo Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Kantana Mostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Visabhanu Sukhadevi Namami Hari Priye Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So as today being most auspicious, being the day when the worship of Govardhana Hill occurred 5,000 years ago, we are commemorating, we are remembering this very special day when the Supreme Lord performed one of his very, very sweet pastimes. This pastime of the Supreme Lord, especially in his Balya age or his very childhood pastimes, is considered as the sweetest. All the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, they are sweet. It's like, as Prabhupada says, it's like my books. You read it in the front or the middle or in the beginning or in the end, and it's all sweet, like sugar candy. But especially in this pastime of the Supreme Lord, the lifting of Govardhana Hill, which is being celebrated all over the world by thousands of devotees, especially in Vrindavan and in particular in Govardhana Hill. Thousands of devotees are doing circumambulation. That must be the origin of what you call the Parikrama. All the Vrajabasis, along with Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yasoda, they all circumambulate and worship Giri Govardhan. Govardhan Hill is the king of mountains, not the Everest or the Himalayan mountain. That is his father. Mm. So the Govardhan Hill, who manifest millions and millions of years ago. There was this one um, yogi or ascetic named Pulastya Muni. He was traveling in a part where he had darshan of Govardhan, Giri Govardhan. He's the son of a king of the mountains and the queen of the mountains. And that is his family lineage. And Giri Govardhan is so beautiful. And because where Palachamuni was staying in his ashram, it's like barren, completely like desert-like, somewhere in Bihar. So he asked the father to have Giri Govardhan to bring him home so that he'll be able to meditate and peacefully be able to focus on his practice of trying to meditate on the Supreme Lord. So the king he did not have any way to say no, because usually when the sages or the yogi, very powerful yogis, they can curse. And brahmanas, when they curse, it's very difficult to extract or to change the course. So where Govardhan Hill is right now is the place, like in Vrindavan, Boma Vrindavan, there is what you call Goloka Vrindavan, and there is what you call Bhoma Vrindavan. Boma Vrindavan means the earthly Vrindavan, but still it is not part of this material world. It is considered as facsimile. Prabhupada used the word facsimile. It's like in the older days, we used to have this, I don't know if they still use it, a fax machine where you put your original and then you'll exactly copy. So this Boma Vrindavan is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away from Delhi, in UP, in what you call UP in India. But this Vrindavan is not of this world. It is considered as a spiritual world. And when Govardhan was, because the agreement is that Pulasya Muni can take Giri Govardhan with him, but in one condition, that Giri Govardhan will stay wherever he will be put. Well, he will be that will be his settlement. So they were passing by Vrindavan, the Vrindavan, the Boma Vrindavan, and the call of nature somehow occurred, and there's no choice except Govardhan has to be put down, and then when he's ready to be lifted up again by Pulatsya Muni, he won't move. Govardhan, when he sees Vrindavan, the beauty of Vrindavan, and knowingly also that Krishna will perform his pastimes here afterwards. So he chose to be in Vrindavan. And therefore he was cursed. It says that Govardhan Hill is to be like taller than the Himalayas. Like, so how many kilometers? Much taller than the modern day Himalayan, because he's the king of mountains. But he was cursed to sink one size of a mustard seed every day So every day since that time, like thousands and thousands of years ago, the mountain Giri, Govardhan or Govardhan. Go means yeah, the cows. Where the Govardhan, this place, the mountain where the it's full of falls, waterfalls, streams, beautiful caves and flowers that have many fragrant flowers, vegetation. See the Brijabasis actually they get more, they get so much benefit from Govardhan. So every year um, there is some kind of worship of King Indra. The King Indra is the king of the demigods. His position, that is a position. Indra means you are the head of the uh, demigods. So it says that one time or another, we're King Indras. And the position of the jiva is like this. It goes up and down, up and down. It's like a roller coaster. Roller coaster goes up and down, and then sometimes big, long, going up, hmm? And then coming down very fast. So the human beings or the living beings, for that matter, the jivas, they've been wondering also. So many species of life, birth after birth, and so one time or another, because these are posed the demigods, we learn few things in this episode, this pastime of the Supreme Lord. King Indra became uh, proud. His position. He thinks that everyone practically should just surrender unto him. Well, there are few personalities who doesn't bow down to him. Um, Others they do, like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, of course. Um, so here, the position of King Indra, the situation where he was involved in this pastime, will teach us a lesson how to curtail our pride, our ego, our sense of prestige, our nature of being like an isvara, mm, master. So King Indra, uh, every year he will receive this some offerings and worship from the Brajabasis. They've been doing this. Nanda Maharaj and his forefathers and the previous ones, they were all doing this sacrifice or worship for King Indra. It's like it's a gesture of gratitude. Oh, because the rain comes. He's the source of the rain. He's the cause of the rain, King Indra. And without rain, there'll be no sustenance for the vegetation. And they are in the Vaishya community. They actually um, able to subsist by grains and vegetables and fruits. Um, so on that day, now Lord Krishna has started to be inquisitive. What's going on? Why all the hustle and bustle? Everyone is busy going here and there, trying to make is very much the elaborate and very magnificent uh, arrangement for the yagya, for the sacrifice that the Brajavasis will perform. So Krishna, he's a young boy, he says, Pita, Pita, what's going on? What is all of this preparation all about? So Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Baba, he replied that this is for the worship of Indra, for just like having an abundance in their agriculture, their harvest. So yearly they do this as part of their tradition, part of their custom, so to say. So King Indra, he was expecting to have a very nice worship of him by the Brajabasis. So, but King Indra's expectation was crushed. His um, understanding that everything is just ready. But then when Kanai Krishna, he says, "Oh, Pitaji, we should not worship King Indra. Actually, we should worship the Govardhan Hill because he's the one who provides everything for all of us." Uh, and somehow or other, he was able to convince Nanda Baba and the Brajabasis. And he says, "Oh, instead of whatever you're going to offer to the um, worship of Indradev, it's better you transfer all of those offerings to Govardhan, and everyone should do also circumambulation." So in many temples of ISKCON also, we build, or we have this mini Govardhan, replica of Govardhan according to the ways and means, space of the mandir or the temple. We will create like Govardhan Hill and complete. Radhakund, Shyamakund. Any one of you who's been to Vrindavan and have this opportunity to perform Govardhan Parikrama, it's about 23 kilometers. 22, 23 kilometers of circumambulation. A minimum of 5 hours to do. But in those days, Govardhan Hill is far more. The circumference is much more. It's like Sanatan Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis. He would do this parikrama, and it's much longer, much further than the modern day parikrama. So we would do this. This is part of the 9 processes of devotional service. It's called Padasevanam. Padasevanam means worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Just like when you walk around Govardhan Hill, you're worshipping Lord Krishna, because Giri Govardhan, one of the names of Lord Krishna is Giridhari, the lifter of Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Dhari, the one who lifts Govardhan. The parikrama, which is being done nowadays also, because the 6 Goswamis, they will do it. The Brajabasis now, there's like lakhs and lakhs of people doing Govardhan parikrama. And this is worship of the Supreme Lord. But to walk and using your feet, like going to the temple or going to some satsanga, or going to some Bhakti Briksha program, that is also called Padasevana, the worship also of the Supreme Lord by using your um, material form, but it becomes spiritualized, becomes purified. So yes, when the Lord says to Nanda Baba that, well, we should do this, so everybody agreed. Everybody agreed to the proposal of Lord Krishna, and everyone, whatever they can find, whatever offerings they can find, and everyone was because this is a Mahotsava, pastime of the Supreme Lord, where there is a big festivity. Of course, all the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is like something to celebrate. It's this festival, this Utsav, something that takes away our anxiety, our worries. Utsav. When we go to festivals, it's like we're like being rejuvenated. We become like more and more purified and closer to the Supreme Lord by following these different festivals. It's like in our Vaishnav calendar, Gaurabda calendar. Yesterday we celebrated Diwali. It's like every day is a festival. So today is this festival uh, where we also offer the Supreme Lord, because you see in this pastime, Lord Krishna, uh, he was there. Govardhan Hill also is none different than Krishna. Um, with the whole Vrindavan, the Vrindavan itself is an expansion of Lord Balaram's energy. That means none other than Lord Krishna also. And then Lord Krishna, he manifests himself as the personified Govardhan, Giriraj, that all these offerings, this sumptuous feast that the Brijabasis arrange, so many delicate preparations made of sweet meals, grains, nuts, vegetables, and fruits, and so on and on and on and on. Um, Everyone, even in the neighboring villages, everyone also came and offered whatever they can find and they can prepare. That there is a place called Anior. When you go Parikrama, because usually we start the Parikrama near Radhakund, you know, that T branch, this way going to Radhakund and this way going to Govardhan town. So that usually we start there. Or it says that one should start also in the Haridev Haridev temple. This is in Manasaganga, in different ways. Nowadays, also those who are not able to walk, they have this what you call pedal like. Uh, they have like a platform where you can sit down or you put your belongings so the children can go. But the best when you do parikrama is that you don't wear any shoes or any slippers. Mm. Others, they do it with socks. Others, they do it also by car. That's like an executive fast track parikrama, maybe for those who doesn't have time. But so the offerings that were given, and these offerings, yes, it's so much. Then Krishna was saying, "Aniyor, Aniyor, Aniyor." That means give me more, give me more, give me more. So unlimited, practically offerings. And Lord Krishna, took all of them. Took all of them. Now, King Indra, he became very furious. Actually, he sent his cloud, Santa Bakra. Santa Bakra is one of his assistants. It's a cloud. But this cloud is like more of a storm, or it can create havoc, create disaster. So Krishna's um, exhibition of performing this pastime is that he crashed. He crashed King Indra's pride, his ego. Mm. And we should learn from this lesson also. Doesn't matter how much position we have in the material world, we should always think and also act, uh, always perform our activities only for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, being a servant, because that is our nature. That is eternal nature. That is our Jaiva Dharma. The eternal nature of all the living entities is to serve the Supreme Lord. So King Indra, he cannot take this, being humiliated uh, by this young boy, small boy. Uh, and Santa Bakra, he gave the news back to King Indra in the heavenly planets that this is what's going on. So King Indra's wrath, he wanted to show to Vrajabasis, especially to this young boy, Lord Krishna, to he cannot just do this. They have to accept that they made a mistake by doing so, by not giving me what is due to be given to me. Uh, so Krishna, he and the Brajabasis, they were there. They were doing this very, very pompous. It's like uh, uh, we have in Krishna Balaram Mandir, we will make this nice Govardhan, um, uh, almost replica. Mm, it's like you can go on Parikaram, and like the Brajabasis also they will do. Even nowadays, the young children, the kids, they will out of Govar. Govar means kaudang. They will make a small, like baby Krishna um, holding the heel. Uh, so yes, so King Indra says, well, you have to Santa Bakra, you have to devastate, give all the necessary rain and thunder and all this almost devastating uh, water, rainwater to give a lesson to the Brajabasis. Tell them who am I. So yes, so Santa Bakra along with the other clouds, they all went back to Brindavan and they pour and pour and pour rain. But now Lord Krishna, he understood that this is the best time for him to show his intense love towards the Brajabasis, to protect them. In this pastimes, the Lord, the Lord and his devotees relationship became more intensified. He wanted to show in different ways, not just to his devotees, but even to uh, King Indra, how uh, Krishna is the only person that has a relationship with everyone. Just like you may have a relationship with your wife or your husband or your children or at most your friends. You know, you have your own circle, but up to how much you can have. But Lord Krishna, his circle is everyone. He's the only person who has a relationship with everybody. So in this pastime, the Supreme Lord, he fulfilled the desires of everyone to be with him for long, extended period, because this is the mood of the Brajabasis is that they're always remembering Krishna. Even if physically Krishna is not there with them, but because they're always thinking of them, of Krishna, then Krishna also manifests. He through their memory, actually. But at this time, because for 6 days, Santa Bakra, uh, um, practically along with his co-clouds, the crew of clouds, rain clouds, they pour as much rain, making flood. But then Lord Krishna, what he did is that he lifted the Govardhan hill with his left hand, and the smallest finger in the left hand, just called pinky. So, and he wanted to protect the Brajabasi, so he made this arrangement that to lift Govardhan hill. Then all the Brajabasis went inside, but the Brajabasis and the cowherd boys, they were all thinking, uh-oh, Krishna is just a small boy. He's only 7 years old when he lifted Govardhan hill. And lifting Govardhan hill is, no one can do it except God. So if someone, as Prabhupada says, if someone wants to show that he is God, because in India there's always born God, um, small God. And then Prabhupada says, then you lift Govardhan hill, see if you can do it. Or show your universal form. It's like what Arjuna, he saw, or he experienced the battle of Kurukshetra. And many also, you see, this is superhuman like. Many activities of the Supreme Lord seemingly like, oh, it's just a child, but they are, all of them practically are superhuman, cannot be equal to or greater than anybody. So Lord Krishna, he lifted, but then the elderly gopas, cowherd men and other cowherd boys, they also have their own sticks, right? So they push also Giriraj with their stick, because thinking that Krishna may get tired, and the Govardhan hill will just crush all of them. So yes, for 6 days, all of these torrential rains and thunder, the storm is so heavy. But then on the 6th day, Santa Vakra, he went back to King Indra, saying that it's no use. We did everything that we could in order to really give, as you desire, a lesson to all these inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially the young boy. But he lifted the hill. So what to do? They were all safe. So King Indra himself, he decided, okay, let me go. This is useless. We cannot do anything. We've tried. And so on. Yes, he prayed to Lord Krishna. He came down himself and he prayed to Lord Krishna. Now, in order to pacify Lord Krishna, the way how King Indra did it is that he asked Surabi to go with him. You know Surabi? Surabi cow? Surabi cow means it's like a kamadenu also. Surabi means you can give practically unlimited milk. Mm. Surabhi, just like in the spiritual world. Venum kamvantam arabinda dalayataksam barhabasam basitam sundarangam. There is this Lakshmi Sahasrata Sambhama Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. Venum Kamrantam is always accompanied by his flute, by unlimited Lakshmis, goddesses of fortune, and also Krishna is always with a cow. Hardly you will not find a picture that Krishna is not with a cow. Usually he's with a cow. Always, he's never alone. So there is this place and Indra called his carrier Airavata, the elephant. So when you go parikrama, after Govinda Kund, then after the tail, because Govardhan is like a peacock, shape of a peacock. Radhakund and Shamakund is the two eyes of the peacock. And just like peacock has a tail, so once you go around the tail, then you enter very nice, very soft sand of Govardhan Hill, Vrajaraj, dust of Vrindavan. You walk a little bit further, then you will reach this place, Surabi Kund. This is where Surabi gave darshan also or have the darshan of Lord Krishna. And that for that matter, in this place there is a kunda. There is a kunda. This kunda is very significant and very, very purifying. Kunda means a body of water. It says anyone who takes bath in Surabi Kund, all of his offenses will be uprooted, will be washed away. Well, except one offense, Vaishnav Aparad. All the offenses except Vaishnav Aparad. So King Indra actually, he realized that he committed an offense to the Brajabasis, especially to this young boy, Kanai, Lord Krishna. And therefore he asked for forgiveness. He asked for forgiveness. And there is also just nearby here, there is this, what you call the imprint of the feet of Airavata, the elephant. So these are actual events that happened 5,000 years ago. Lord Krishna, he wanted to teach that worship also of the devatas is not the same as worship of the Supreme Lord himself. The devatas are representatives of the Supreme Lord, so we respect them. It'll be an offense if one is disrespectful of the devatas or the demigods. They're also somehow devotees of the Supreme Lord, but in the this these devotees of the Supreme Lord, they also have what we call material desires. They are not akama, unlike the devotees. The devotees are akama, but in the heavenly planets, because the sense enjoyment is far greater, usually the material desires still there. Not all of them. It's like King Indra. Anytime the jiva is like this, anytime the sense of prestige, which is very difficult to curtail, will also enter into our mind any moment, anytime. So we have to be extra careful. And all the devatas could happen to them. It happened to King Indra. So yes, all of their whatever benedictions they give, because if one has performed some kind of austerities, they can easily please the demigods, even Lord Shiva. One of the names of Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. So King Indra, he finally realized, but then later on also, this is the nature of the jiva also, they forget. There was this pastime later on, when Satyabhama and Lord Krishna went to the heavenly planets, and then Satyabhama was asking for one flower of this parijata, and knowingly that Rukmini had a gift of parijata from Narad Muni. So Satyabhama also wanted like one flower of parijata from the parijata tree. In the heavenly planets, there's only one parijata tree there. In King Indra's courtyard or in his garden. But Lord Krishna, instead of just taking one fragrant, this parijata, he took the whole. He took the whole tree, brought it back to Dwarka, and then Indra forget again. Oh, this is the same Krishna, so he wanted to make a fight, and of course King Indra was defeated, and they brought the parijata flower. So King Indra forgot. Oh, this is the same boy that I met when he was a young boy. Same personality. So yes, we've learned that our position here is very fragile. The Supreme Lord can perform all of these different superhuman-like pastimes, ultimately to liberate the conditioned souls. Because by hearing Harikatha, this subject matter, topics about the Supreme Lord's name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes, the Supreme Lord, he'll be able to attract us again to go back to Godhead. Not attract. He is coming back again and again and again. And he will be doing that. Not until we all become Krishna conscious. He'll be keep coming back again and again. This is pastimes. For him, this is not, there is no tinge of karma. That's why he's keep coming back again and again like we do. But his coming back again and again is his love, his compassion. Krishna is more eager than we do to go back home, back to Godhead than we do. So by remembering these pastimes, by hearing about them, these different festivals, we will be so satisfied that yes, there is no other way that can be fully happy and satisfied in this world, except to serve the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Go back home, back to Godhead. So I will stop here now. There's so many things that we didn't even read the past time, but I just gave like a synopsis of the significance of Govardhan and what Govardhan Puja. This is Anakut. This is Go means cows in the senses also. Gopal, Govinda. Um, so Govardhan Hill is like a very important, uh, is very integral part of Vrindavan. Um, it says there are three things that can give you love of God quickly: Yamuna, Govardhan Hill, and dust of Vrindavan. But Govardhan Hill is sinking, as we mentioned earlier. One mustard seed, the seed of one mustard seed every day, and very soon, uh, that means what? 427,000 years. Uh, Kali Yuga, there'll be no more Govardhan Hill. It'll be unmanifest. It'll be only just Brajaraj. Yamuna also uh, is quickly disappearing. Yamuna Devi, where the Lord performed his pastimes also, along with the cowherd boys and the cowherd girls. And Brajaraj will be the only one that will remain when as Kali Yuga progresses. So I will stop here. Is there any questions or comment?
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class on this morning. Is anybody else have any questions? Please go ahead.
Hare,
You can write it down. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol, Haribol.
This is Shama Gauri. And
Yes.
thank you so
Now I
much,
can see.
Maharaj. Very, very beautiful class and very nice
Oh.
to set up the mood of Govardhan Puja we will be doing in the evening. Thank you so much.
Mm-mm. Have in the program, Sunday, part of your Sunday program.
We don't have means we have on Zoom.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
I know.
we do actually in Charlotte we don't have temple, but we have like deities at home, so
Oh.
we do
Okay.
puja at
Of
home.
course, you can do at home, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, most of the temples are closed in North America.
Yes.
In Canada, where I am right now, practically all the temples are closed except where I am in Vancouver. So it's a great privilege. I mean, but we have to be careful. It should not be more than 30 people inside, and there'll be always like continuous movement of the darshan. The devotees would like to have darshan.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had last night. Yeah, we had a nice Diwali program here. Have a nice lights decoration, festival of lights. Yeah, every day Prabhupada says every day we can have a festival, but I don't think we'll be able to handle if it's every day. We're not ready for that yet, but
Yes.
hopefully someday. But actually, every day is a holiday,
Holy.
not holiday, but this came from holy day. Every day for devotees of the Lord is a holy day. It's a day of festival. It's a day of celebration. There is no day in a year that we don't celebrate anything, even just like our everyday activities. We're always like in Vrindavan, especially. Every day is a festival.
Yeah.
Flowers. Oh, if you, it's the smell, the atmosphere. So we should create that at home, that kind of spirit
Yeah.
by observing these types of festival, even in a smaller way. You can have a picture of Govardhan Hill and circumambulate and that at home with your deities. Offer nice extra preparations, mm, like Giriraj like sweets. Mm. So
Yes.
mitai. Uh, you can offer as much as your heart's content. So in this way, it increases actually our love and devotion towards the Supreme Lord by observing this kind or these types of festivals, utsava. Especially today, Giriraj is very, very merciful to everyone. When you go parikrama, I'm sure many of you have been to parikrama. It says that Krishna is always with you. He's always on where? On your right hand side, right? You go parikrama is clockwise.
Yeah.
So Krishna Giriraj is always on your right hand
Right.
side. And you see, Giriraj fulfill everyone's desire. So we have to, when we desire, we should also be very careful what to desire, because you can desire materially as well. Um, to be free from material desire, that is extraordinary person. But for those of us sadhakas, so we have to be very, very careful. So when you go on parikrama, as much as possible, you also desire spiritually. Mm. And
Yes.
Krishna will hear that, and
Thank you.
he may or he may not fulfill it. But more likely, if it's a spiritual desire, Krishna will fulfill. Mm. Any other
Thank.
points?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Any other question or points? Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandvat Pranam, very, very beautiful, beautiful class, Maharaj. And I really like the point that you are telling, Maharaj, that when the festival come, your mood is very happy. Utsav means it makes us happy. It's
Yes.
so true, Maharaj. When the festival is there, when we are in the temple, we feel so happy, we forget everything, as you said, we forget all our miseries, we don't bother what is the tomorrow's plan, nothing, we just observe in that. As soon as that is over, again everything comes our brain. This is very hard. So hope every day is a festival in our life, I mean so that it makes us happy. Maharaj, thank you so much for such a beautiful, beautiful class.
Well, we could also make our life like happy all the time. Not only a festival. This is grand. It's like um, surcharged with spiritual intensity. The congregational chanting is overpowering everyone's heart uh, with uh, with with so much nectar coming from chanting the holy name, the prasadam. But we can also have our everyday activities to be like a mini festival, because if you everything the whole day is offered um, as uh, the work, the activities has been done as a sacrifice or for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord or his devotees, then we also like it's like a celebration. Every day actually is like a celebration. It's like we don't celebrate New Year only one day. It's like every day is a new year, or it's a new day for us. Uh, always looking forward to serve the Lord and His devotees. So we make it to the best. We should every day. Uh, as much as possible, chant more, hear more, especially in month of Kartik. We still have 15 days to go before the month is over, the month of Damodar, where there's a big wholesale of mercy coming from the Supreme Lord, especially to those who um, took a vow somehow or one or another to increase love for Krishna. We perform austerities, and actually this is the ecstasy of the devotees, the austerities that he performed every day for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Thank you. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bala Brinda. Okay. Anybody else? Shall we conclude here?
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your enlightening class today, and we are very grateful to you. We look forward to your association again and again in future. If nobody has any questions, we can end the call here. Let's pray obeisances to Maharaj and all assembled devotees. Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhuyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavobhyo namo
Vaishnavebhyo
namaha.
namo namaha. Hare
Thank you,
Bol.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna. Thank you,
Krishna.
His
Thank you
Maharaj.
for the
holiness.
wonderful
See you
class,
again.
Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Thank you,
Govardhan
Maharaj.
ki
Holiness Bhakti Anugraha
Krishna,
Janardan
Dandavat
Swami
Pranam.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so
Jai.
much, Maharaj.
Maharaj
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
We have next section, Vrajamandala Parikrama by Padmasaki Mataji. Mataji are in the call. Yes, Mataji, I am there. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I would like to hand over call to you, Mataji. Can you, I'm not able to see the screen.
Yes. Did. Just now made you co-host. Okay.
Shamagari Mataji, should
Samyavan. Exterior.
you're muted.
Samyavan bar. Exterior Parikrama. Interior Kari. Exterior.
Yeah, today we have exterior parikrama, means some more like Kamyavan is very big, like for it's 3 or 4 days to complete all the places in Kamyavan. So today also we will be doing Kamyavan parikrama.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Samyavan. Govardhna.
Thank you for joining. So we will begin our parikrama by praying. So let's pray to Srimati Radharani, Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda, all the Guru Vargas and the devotees, so that we will be able to finish our parikrama successfully by their blessings. So yesterday we have seen what happened. Mataji, just give me a minute. Okay, so yesterday we have seen Kamyavan's interior parikrama. So today we will see exterior. But before we go to exterior, yesterday, if you all remember, we have seen Bimal Kund, which was formed by the tears of the 10 million daughters of Bimal Dev. So actually those 10 million wives, like whom Krishna married, Bimal Dev's daughters, they were all in the previous life from Ayodhya. When he married Sita, and when he was coming to Ayodhya, all the young girls in Ayodhya were feeling bad. They were like, oh, they all wanted to, they had a desire to marry Lord Ram. But we know Lord Ram, in that yuga, he was Ekapatni Vrat. So to fulfill all their desires, now they all came back in this life as the Bimal Dev daughters, and Krishna fulfilled their desire. So that was one thing about that. And at Bimal Kund, there were a couple of other pastimes that took place. We all know the famous pastime when Pandavas were in the forest, where Durvasa Muni goes to Duryodhan with 60,000 disciples. Then Duryodhan takes care of him so nicely, and Durvasa Muni was very, very pleased. And then Duryodhan, being wicked, he comes up with an idea. When Durvasa Muni asks, what do you want? He will say, please go and visit my brothers in the forest. He will be thinking that when he goes, they will not have anything to feed him. And then, he will be, Durvasa Muni will be very upset. So that is his plan. With that wicked idea, he will send Durvasa Muni to Pandavas in the forest. Then Pandavas receive him very nicely, and when Yudhishthir asked Draupadi to make food, we know that sun god gives them Akshay Patra, but there was a condition. That day, if Draupadi finishes eating, and if she washes the pot, then no more food will come. But up until then, it will come in enormous amount, how much ever they want. But that day, Draupadi is done with eating, and she finished washing the pot. So she was worried, now what should I do? Durvasa Muni has come. So Durvasa Muni will say he will go to a nearby pond and he will do his Gayatri and then come back. So that was at Bimal Khund. Then he will be doing his Gayatri, but Draupadi will be very sad. Now what should I do? He will come back, then I have nothing to feed him. Then she will call Lord Krishna, then Krishna will appear and he will ask to bring the pot. When she brings the pot, there will be one tiny bit of spinach, very small, tiny spinach. Then Krishna takes that and he eats it. When Krishna eats, when he is satisfied, everybody in the creation got satisfied. And Durvasa Muni was also not feeling hungry. When Bhimasena goes to Bimal Kund and he will ask, he will ask, please come to have food. He will say, no, I am not hungry. So he will just bless them and he will go. So that pastime happened at Bimal Kund. And the other one is Duryodhan. So Duryodhana, knowing that Pandavas are staying in Kamyavan and Durvasa Muni, his plan failed, so he gets very upset, and he will think like, I have to do something, and he will think I have to go and attack them now, the Pandavas, because they don't have any weapons or anything. Now they cannot anyways win. But Indra will come to know, and we know Indra's son is Arjuna. So Indra gets little bit worried, and he will send his assistant. His assistant's name is also, one of the assistant's name is also Chitragupta. So not the Chitragupta at Yamaraj's abode. So Chitragupta will come and he will tie Duryodhan and he will be fighting. That is when Yudhishthir and all the 5 Pandavas come and they will save Duryodhan. Then Chitragupta will ask, like, he is your enemy and he is my enemy also. Instead of supporting me, why are you fighting with me? Then Yudhishthir says, when somebody comes from outside, we are not just 100, we are 105. And Duryodhan feels utterly humiliated because he felt ashamed, because he was not able to help himself. He needed the help of Pandavas, so he felt ashamed. That also happened at Bimal Kund. And Jayadratha kidnapping Draupadi, that also happened at Bimal Kund. So these are the famous pastimes that happened at Bimal Kund that I wanted to mention. I forgot to say yesterday. So now we will see today's Parikrama path. So this will be our map. See, this is Bimal Kund, and from there we will be going to we'll be going to Surabhi Kund, Prabodhananda Saraswati's Bhajan Kutir. Then we will go to Pishala Nishila, then Vyomasur's Gubha, then Bhojanastali. We'll see that. So what is Surabhi Kund? Surabhi Kund is, we know Surabhi means cow. So this was the place when Krishna was playing. This was the place where the cows used to come and drink water. And sometimes Krishna would imitate the cows, like, not using his hands. He would keep his hands and drink like a cow. So that pastime, like he used to do like that here. And around Surabhi Kund, there are 12 ghats, and each ghat is named on one month, like Damodar Ghat, Govinda Ghat, Achyuta Ghat, like one name of the month is mentioned on one ghat. So that's why there are 12 ghats, and there is a very small Sita Rama temple around Suravikund. Then there is Prabodhananda Saraswati's Bhajan Kutir. We know Prabodhananda Saraswati is the uncle of Gopala Bhatta Goswami. He was following Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya in Srirangam, but after he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became a great follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he stayed in Vrindavan, and he wrote wonderful books. In fact, he was named as Saraswati because he was like a very scholar, writing beautiful poems. That's why he was given the name Saraswati. And in Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, it is mentioned that Prabodhananda Saraswati was Tunga Vidya in Krishna and Radha pastimes. In the spiritual world, he was Tunga Vidya. And here is the shloka. Tunga Vidya Vraje Yashit Sarva Shastra Visharada Sa Prabodhananda Yatir Gaurodgana Saraswati. The Gopi Tunga Vidya, who was most learned in all the scriptures, has today become the sannyasi Prabodhananda, whose words are all used in the glorification of Lord Gauranga. And Prabodhananda Saraswati wrote so many books. In Vrindavan Mahimamrita, he wrote, "O friend, by great good fortune, you have attained this body, where you have heard Vrindavan's glories and learned everything in this world is like a dream. Don't put faith in mind and body. Run to Vrindavan." So Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati mentioned in that book. And he actually even one more thing he mentioned was, "Oh brother, when you close your eyes in death, where will your loving wife, children, brothers, relatives, and friends be? Where will your good qualities be? Where will your pride, wealth, education, control over others, and other powers and opulences be? Oh, learned and intelligent friend, why do you not renounce these temporary things and run to Vrindavan?" So this is the point of meditation. This can be the point of meditation for us, this whole, the next 15 days of our parikrama or of Kartik month. So he wrote many nice books, that Sangeeta Madhava, Navadvip Sataka, then Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. So he wrote all these beautiful books. So we'll take his blessings and we'll go forward. So there is this Pisalini Shila. You see the devotees are sliding on that Shila. So this is a soft rock where, like, there will be so many pictures of, there is Dinabandhu Prabhu, so many yatras. If you see everybody sliding here, this was the place where Krishna also used to do, like, many times even in our childhood we used to do that, right? Anything is like the slopey, we will slide. So this is that place where Krishna would slope while the cows are gazing. Krishna and the cowherd boys would do the sliding here at this Shila. And here comes our Vyomasura Gufa. So what is this? We know the demon Vyomasur. He was Vyoma means sky, and this demon was a flying demon. He could fly in the sky. And we know, like, when the cowherd boys were playing police and the cop game, that time this Vyomasura demon came and he tried to he stole the cowherd boys and he was keeping them in a cave, right? So that is this cave. So the boys were playing at Govardhan, and the cave is in Kamya. And so Vyomasura was shuttling between the both places. He was going, bringing them, keeping in the guha. Actually, Vyomasura was the last demon that Krishna killed in Vrindavan before going to Mathura. And the same day he killed even Keshi demon. Keshi he killed in the afternoon, and this was a little later. Vyomasura was the last demon in Vrindavan. So then we know that then Krishna and Balaram, Krishna came to know that the crowd of the cowherd boys are getting less, so he will understand Vyomasura is doing this. Then there was a great fight. Then we know how Krishna killed Vyomasura. So while killing Vyomasura, Krishna's jewelry, everything fell down. Jewelry, his garlands, his flowers, they all fell down. And even till date, we will see the impressions of Krishna's mukut, Krishna's jewelry, Krishna's foot. I have seen like one couple of pictures, so I pasted them in the slides. Let's see. So this is the Vyomasura's cave. It's not very big now. Maybe it in the Kali Yuga it got shrunk. So this is the Guha. And if you see here carefully, do you see this like a garland here? See, this is Krishna's garland, or the necklace, what Krishna's necklace that he wears. It's clearly like a U shape with some like these stones. Those are all embedded emeralds and stones on his necklace. And this is the foot of Balaram here. What happened was when Krishna was fighting with Vyomasur, the whole earth was shaking. It was not steady because Krishna was, fighting so feral, so it was a big fight. Then when it was shaking, Balaramji keeps his left foot and he will keep the earth steady. We know Balaram is Anantasej, she carries all the planets on his hoods. So that is Balaramji's footstep. See, this is the hill. This is the Vyomasura Guha, and this is the hill we see devotees are climbing. So that was about Vyomasura's Gufa. And then after that, what happened was, this is called Bhojanasthali, means the place. After that, they felt hungry. So they came to this place called Bhojanasthali. So here is one pastime. So this the place where Bhojanasthali is on a small hill called Indrasen Parvat. So there was a princess called Krishnavati. Her husband died at a very early age. She didn't have any kids also. So after her husband passed away, she did an austerity for 10,000 years. Then the Lord appears and asks what she wants. She could have asked for anything, but she just said that she wants to become a hill in Vraja Bhumi. And one day, and then she said, one day, then you will come on me, you will sit on my hill, and then you will eat your food, and the remnants will fall on me, and I will get liberated. So that was her desire. And that is the hill where Krishna came. And when Krishna came, there were no plates and bowls. So the stones, the stones on this hill transformed to bowls and plates. So that is what we are seeing on this slide. Even till date, they are there, like there are still 2 plates and 2 bowls. Whenever the devotees are going here, they take lots of food to offer. They just don't go just like that. So this is the Bhojanasthali where Krishna ate food after killing Vyomasura, and the cowherd boys ate. Mataji, Shamgauri Mataji, you have anything to say?
Like you can see when there is a bowl and plates and everything actually there. And the Balram's plate is bigger, Krishna's plate is smaller, like that. Yeah, so nice.
Yes. So, and after this, there will be one small, as we walk from Bhojanasthali, there is a small kund called Ksheerasagar Kund. What happened one day, it was very, very hot. And Balaramji was walking, and suddenly, he looks at this kund to drink some, he just looks at this kund, and he will see a whitish boy just like him. Then he gets confused, like, as he was walking, he suddenly looks down and he sees a whitish boy like him. Then he gets like bewildered. He will be stammering. When we are in your very, very surprised, we be like, we cannot bring our words out, right? So he will be stuttering like that. Then Krishna sees him like, what is my brother doing? He's talking to himself. What is he doing? Maybe it is too hot. And immediately Krishna will bring lots of clouds, and the whitish boy and that kund also disappeared. So that pastime happened as we walk from Bhojanasthali. Then from Bimal Kund, if you take, there is a little small road from Bimal Kund. So if you take that road, there is a village called Kanvara. So what is Kanvara? Kanvara, Khan means ears, right? So Kanvara. So it is said that Krishna, the little boys also, they get ears pierced, right? So he got his ears pierced at this village. Mother Yashoda brought him all the way to this village for piercing his ears. And actually, once the princess visited Kirchor Gopinath temple, and she also had a desire that she should get the ears and the nose pierce for the deity, but that is a stone, right? How will she do that? So then she will be, thinking like, I wish I can do it. I can pierce even for Kirchor Gopinath. But that night, when she sleeps, Kirchor Gopinath will come in the dream and mentions to her, saying that you asked the Brahmin, the Pujari who is worshipping me, to look at me very carefully. I have ears and nose pierced. So she will tell to the Pujari, and the Pujari will observe so carefully at Kirchor Gopinath, and he actually finds very, small piercing in the ears and the nose. So, and then one more, this is known as Kanvara because sage Kanva used to live here. And who is he was, we know that the daughter of Vishwamitra and Menaka was Shakuntala. So they didn't, Menaka didn't take her daughter, but she left Shakuntala at this sage Kanva Rishi's ashram. So sage Kanva will take care of her, and she grows up to be a nice, beautiful girl. And one day, when there was a king called Dushyant who comes, and he will see Shakuntala and he wants to marry her, and he will, there was a conversation, and then finally he ends up marrying her. Then she will have a son called Sarvadhaman. What happens? He will leave after he marries her. She will have, he will leave to his kingdom. Then she will have a daughter called, son called Sarvadhaman. Later he is known as Bharat. Then when she had the son, sage Kanva will say, maybe now you have to go to your husband. So that time she will go to her husband, and that time then Dushyant will say that, I don't remember who are you. But at that time, from the sky, the demigods, from the sky, there is a voice coming and explaining everything, like when he met, what they spoke and everything. Then Dushyant accepted her as his princess and kept her in the kingdom. And in Kamyavan, again, we know that these Shad Goswamis were there in Vrindavan for a very long time. They only excavated the places. They used to, travel they used to stay under trees, travel everywhere, finding different pastime places. So one time, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami spent some time at Kamyavan. So, they wouldn't eat. We know how the Goswamis are. They don't cook, they don't eat, they just do madhukari, eat whatever little they get. So that day, what happened was, Rupa Goswami was sitting under a tree, and then a little girl comes with the milk and rice and sugar and ghee and all the necessary ingredients that are needed for making a kheer. So this little girl comes and she says, like, why don't you make kheer? I got all the ingredients for you. And in fact, she only goes and she collects all the wood that is necessary to make fire and cook the kheer, and she brings all the wood, and she keeps the pot, and she starts cooking the kheer with all the ingredients. Then she gives it to Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami obviously will offer to his guru Sanatan Goswami, who's elder and senior. So when he gives to Sanatan Goswami eats the kheer and immediately feels so ecstatic, and then he asks, hey Rupa Goswami, who brought this kheer? Then Rupa Goswami says that, I don't know, there is one little girl who just came and, prepared, and she gave it to me. Then Sanatan Goswami, as he described, Rupa Goswami described how that little girl looked. Sanatan Goswami understood that it was none other than Radharani. Then he will be feeling bad, like, oh, we have to do service to Radharani, and we took service from Radharani. And, they will be feeling so, tears are rolling from their cheeks. And they're taking one bite and they're crying, oh, Radharani did this for us. In happiness, sometimes the tears will keep rolling. So the kheer was so tasty. It was very divine. So they ate the kheer and they were crying simultaneously. So that's how merciful Srimati Radharani is. The supreme, she is the favorite of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and she is so dearmost to him. And she is the mother of the universe. She is doing all this, menial things for her devotees. So that's how merciful she is. So we have to understand that. We should get into that mood of, always offering our prayers, always remembering her, always